Hi everybody, thanks for joining Create with Dee. I'm Dee Slater, a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and thanks for joining me today. What we're going to be making today is a double layer embellishment card. And what that means is we're going to take a stamped image and we're actually going to stamp it twice and layer it. And it really gives this awesome 3D effect where it really pops it off the page by doubling up the layers. Let's get started making this beautiful card. The cut measurements of the materials that we're going to be using today are thick Whisper White cardstock, cut at 8.5 by 5.5, scored and folded in half. Piece of rich raspberry cardstock, cut at 2.5 by 2.5. Tea Room Specialty Designer Series paper, and this is cut at 3 3/4 by 5. Calypso Coral cardstock, and this is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. The central embellishment floral image is made from the limited edition Blended Seasons stamp set by Stampin' Up. It's available the month of August 2018 only, and this is a wonderful transition stamp set from perhaps our spring and summer stamping that we're doing, and it transitions us into the fall and winter. So it's an awesome stamp set, and again, it's limited for just this month. And there's also a matching die called Stitch Seasons, which you can buy independently or as a bundle. There is not a die that cuts this whole flower image out though. And so what I did is I stamped the image twice on thick Whisper White cardstock because we're going to color it using our Stampin' Blends. And I have an E-cutter and I use that to cut around it. But you could fussy cut it if you have a really nice dexterity on it, or just pick and choose some of the elements to cut around. Okay, let's get started coloring this. When we make our double stacked or doubled up embellishments, we do want the underside of the embellishment to mirror the color of what we have on top. And so for this embellishment here, again, I use the E-cutter for it. And I've gone ahead and started to color for you so that, you didn't have to watch me do all of it. But this will be what I have underneath of it. And as you see, it's going to mirror the same color palette that I have on the top. I did want to share with you how I colored this image, again, from the Blended Seasons. I'm using the dark Pool Party for the color of the main flowers here. And again, I pulled the color palette from the Tea Room Designer Series paper that's featured behind it. Now we've got, and again, we're just going to put this over top of it, so I don't need to waste my markers by coming in here and doing details because the majority of it's going to be covered. Okay. Now let's do some assembly. So again, here's our card base, and we'll just go ahead and add the layers. I'm using multi-purpose glue to put this down. And the rich raspberry just goes down flat too. No dimensionals, no pop-up on that. And we'll center it. With our Stampin' Dimensionals, this is the base embellishment, and I'm going to put 3 dimensionals on it. It's a pretty substantial length on this embellishment. I love how these flowers can take on whatever your designer series paper might be that you want to match it with. Okay, we'll get that one on there. And this particular one, I do like to try to cover the points of the triangle that we made there. Okay, so now on this one here, what I'm going to do is the same thing. This is a double stack or double layering the embellishment. And I suppose you could definitely triple stack it. I'm just going to, and actually I think that would be quite awesome. I'm just going to double stack it because I think that for mailing purposes, it would probably get squished down anyways, but you know, that's definitely something to try. And then this just gets stacked right on top of it. Oh my gosh, it's so cool. I mean, I hope it shows up on camera. It just bounces. It just pops right off of the card. And I'm going to take my Winka Stella and I'm going to give it some sparkle on the surface. And I'm going to give my leaves and my flower images some highlight so that it really catches the eye when the recipient gets it. I'm going to repeat this image on the inside of the card and envelope and use "You're the Friend Everyone Wishes They Had" sentiment to go on the inside. And for that, I am going to use Rich Razzleberry for the sentiment. I hope you enjoyed the video about learning how to double stack or double up your embellishment or images on a card for that really wow 3D look, and that I've given you an idea on how you might use the Blended Season Limited Edition stamp set by Stampin' Up. There's a link at the bottom of this video that you can go right to my blog page to get all of the dimensions and any other information about ordering materials if you'd like to replicate this. Thanks for watching, everybody, and happy crafting. Bye-bye.